The Irish Mafia, I mean, they're loosely knit crews, you know, that don't necessarily follow the pyramid of the structure of power that the Italians have. You have your bookies, you have your drug dealers, you have your hijackers. Everybody has a role. But the earner, the guy that's filling the pockets of the higher ups, is the most important guy in that crew. The Irish will work with anybody that's making money, that's willing to work with them. I mean, there was like a big ethnic stew of people. You know, you didn't have to be a certain, you know, religion or, like I said, ethnicity. There was Italians, there was Polish, there was Jewish. If you have talent, you can earn. They don't really care what your last name is or what your religion is. You know, it's about money. You make the money.
And just like that, I was Winter Hill.
So a lot of people believe that Whitey Bulger was part of the Winter Hill gang. He was at the beginning. I don't think I would ever say he was the leader of the Winter Hill gang. He was the leader of the Bulger group, or whatever you want to call it. He was running with the gangs in South Boston. There was a power struggle, and they wanted to iron out those problems, and the ultimate result of it was, hey, let's combine it. You know, why don't we make ourselves strong? Why don't we blend Southie and Winter Hill and make it all one crew? And that's what they did. But in 1978, all of a sudden this huge indictment comes down against the entire Winter Hill gang. I mean, guys like Whitey, Stevie, Howie, John Martirano, the who's who of the Irish Mafia in 1978. And it's funny because as it was taking its course, you know, these guys either went on the lam or some of them went to jail or were awaiting trial. All of a sudden, you hear the word unindicted co-conspirators when it came to Steve Flemmi and Whitey Bulger. So an unindicted co-conspirator kind of raised a lot of antennas. And again, that's what people fail to realize, is that once he eliminates Winter Hill, he becomes the Bulger group. Police corruption back in the 80s and the 90s was rampant. Whitey Bulger certainly wasn't the only guy that had the inside track with some of the departments, whether they be local or state or federal. Other guys, I mean, you're not going to survive on the street if you don't have friends within law enforcement. And back then, you know, police didn't really make as much money as they did today, and they were much more easily corrupted. As we moved on to the 2000s, I think that they got a little more stringent. You know, they wanted to eradicate organized crime. They wanted to just put that final nail in the coffin, which they claim to have done several times.